Do you ever feel overwhelmed and confused with all the gadgets, the gizmos, and the really cool tech that's out there that you see each day? And do you worry, okay, I'm going to be left behind if I don't get into this? Well, we're going to give you something that's going to help, because in this episode, we're going to tell you three key things. They're going to help you now and in the future. This is what tech savvy people are doing, and you want to be sure that you do this. And stay tuned to the end of this episode, because we've got a golden question that you're going to be able to use to filter all kinds of things out of this and make sure you're getting the results that you want. I want to take you to something we saw just a little while ago. I was reading a wonderful newsletter that I get from Anne Handley. Anne Handley is a marvelous author and person I've heard as a speaker. Really like her stuff. She's got a newsletter I'd encourage you to sign up for called Total Anarchy, and get how she spells that, Annarchy, Anarchy. And she said something that I thought was just brilliant. When you're trying to face a decision and think, should I buy this technology? Should I not? What should we do? She gave three questions that you can ask that are really good. And here they are. So first of all, does it solve a problem? What problem is it solving? There's got to be a reason why you're getting it. Secondly, boost the effectiveness of our programs in measurable, specific ways. Is it doing that? Is it going to help us boost that? Measurable, specific ways, I think is important. We're going to go into these in depth. And does it trigger deeper, sustainable connections? That is so important, that you have the connections with others and you use all of that. So we're going to show you a step-by-step how to do it, what can be done. And when I say we, I mean me and my partner, Gina Carr. Gina, why are questions like this so important when we're dealing with technology, making decisions on equipment? It might be software, it could be SaaS, could be all of that. Why are these questions important?
Well, I think people are in such a state of overwhelm that they know they need tools to do their work better, cheaper, faster, to get more things done in less time and to do them more effectively. And there's so many options out there. I think people are often asking, should I do this? Should I do that? And there's this big fear of, oh, I'm missing out because I don't have the latest tech. I don't have the latest new tool that I need. I know that I'm going through this constantly myself. And so I end up in this paralysis because there's this situation where I think I need an upgrade here, but there's so many options to consider. I don't know which one would be better. I don't know if it'd be better than what I currently am using. And so it's a little frustrating. It's very frustrating, and it can definitely cause a business to spend a lot of time, money, and effort without a good return.
Yeah, well, and Gina, matter of fact, I want to get specific on this. Something I know you're working on right now is a scheduling system. You've got it, but you're not really thrilled with this. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think people will be able to relate to that with their own situation.
Yes, well, recently the scheduling system I was using, it was expiring, and I thought, I need to see what else is out there. And so I did subscribe to a new service, and I'm testing it, but it doesn't do all the things my old service did. I thought it did. It does some things a little bit better and different, but it doesn't do some of the things that I really liked with the old service. And in particular, it doesn't provide really good follow-up for me to be able to connect with whoever's scheduling the appointment with me, which appointments are very important in business. It doesn't provide the proper follow-up for me or for the client or for me. And so I end up being frustrated and not feeling like I'm in the loop like I need to be.
Yeah, that can be really, really tough. And so what we've got to do is we've got to look at, does it solve a problem? I think that's the key. It's got to solve a specific problem that we say, okay, I need to get a resolution on this thing. I need to get this thing working just right for me, and I need to work with it. Now, if we look at the second question that she offered, Gina, that's even more important. It's, does it boost the effectiveness of your programs in measurable, specific ways? I love those words, measurable, specific ways. Hey, you're an engineer, and you know about the importance of engineering and the specificity on that. I think there's some key factors here, identifying key performance indicators, things like sales. Does it affect your outbound calls? Does it affect the cost of goods? All of these are important to understand, and you have to ID the key variables in each business and what's there. I think that's going to be very important. And the other things we can look at is to say, okay, show me the actual results that this new tech is going to help us to build the business. And so I think those are going to be really important. Gina, your thoughts on that as we look at buying these new items and looking at the key performance indicators that are important in it ultimately boosting the effectiveness that we have.
Well, in today's world, you want to really personalize the marketing that people are receiving, the marketing that you're sending out. And so one of the ways to do that is with an email system, an onboarding system for your people who are new subscribers to really focus in on their specific interests, their level of success, their level of, let's say, for example, our clients are business clients. So what is their level of business? Are they beginner? Are they intermediate, or are they advanced business owners? And so with that, one of the pieces of software that we're considering is a tool that would allow us to really let people self-grade, self-judge themselves, and self-identify so that we can follow up with more customized emails. And so that's one of the tools that would really allow us to have a very specific, measurable result by reaching out to people the way they want to be reached out to with a customized message. They're much more likely to do business with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes back to personalization and even hyper personalization that we can do now with AI. It gives us that ability. But when you're looking at something that's going to be in business, I think too often, particularly those of us that are working with not a large staff, we're not a large corporation, we're looking at things, okay, it will be nice, I'll get that. But I think sometimes we got to look at it and think about, okay, what if we were there in the penthouse of a big building in a major city, and we're there seated at the conference table, and all the accountants are around us. The accountants are there and they're going, okay, what kind of a return are we going to get on that? What kind of return on investment? Show us the results. And I think if you have that mentality in mind, we can do a whole lot better as we move forward with it, and as we start looking at the various features that are there. Gina, any other factors considered that you think go into when you're going to buy a particular software or hardware or any other type of business equipment?
Well, thinking about this criteria and thinking about my scheduling system, for example, if I had a scheduling system that was working better, I would have more productive meetings because I would know more about the people that I'm meeting with. I would have fewer missed meetings because I would have gotten those all important notifications that I want. And ultimately, I'd be able to make more money because I was having better meetings and all these things would be set up. And that's an example where I really would like to have another system. Now I can initiate some workarounds, but that's one of the reasons that you go with a new piece of software is because you don't have to initiate additional systems. You have it all there right in one that you can do everything you need to do easily.
You know, Gina, I really like the way you're putting that. It's like, can you get what you need done very easily in one? That is important. You know, some other considerations that I've seen, Gina, I'd appreciate your input on this and what you think. I think we have to look at when we're looking at, say, a new software or maybe a new application that we're going to get. We hear this new whiz-bang AI tool is out there. Should we go with that? Well, number one, I would say, what will it accomplish? What's it supposed to do? And then the difficulty in learning. This is something that people don't often think about. If something is going to have a real steep learning curve, that's a cost in business. It's a cost in your money, in your time, in your energy, bringing in extra people for training, etc. Think about how difficult something is to learn versus the capability it has. But here's one that I think is really important, the support level. When you're buying a new system, a new software, a new SaaS, a new equipment, whatever it is, what kind of support are you going to get? Pick up the phone and call them. Literally, a phone. Get your cell phone, call up their support and see what it's like. Find out if they're right there or if they're not. And if you don't need it, then it's not a big factor. And of course, price is always a consideration. We want to look at the price of what it's going to do. And then we also want to consider looking at the community at large, say the society, what other stakeholders are involved when you're doing it. So these are some factors that are in there. Gina, any other thoughts on that before we move on to number 3?
Well, as we're considering these different factors, it's reminding me why we made the switch years ago to a software, an all-in-one software called Kartra, Kartra, which we use and love, and we're affiliates for. So if you're interested in it, please look down below. We'll put the Kartra affiliate link down there. But it's an all-in-one system that makes our lives so much easier because it has the shopping cart and the email support and our membership program and products and coupons and affiliates. It really has everything. And so that's something that you want to look at. It wasn't difficult to learn. It accomplished many of the things that we were spending money on separate systems, having to integrate them to make them work together. So and it was reasonably priced. So I think that's a great example of applying your criteria to a software decision that we made years ago that we've been very happy with.
Yeah, I think so. Kartra is one. When I first got into it, it was a little bit difficult, but I found as I got used to it, it was good. And now it's the system. So there's others that are out there that are good, some that have features that are even better. Well, that's okay, but we know this one. And I think that's what you got to find is the right software. Like, for instance, I mentioned often Cast Magic. I work with Cast Magic and find it's got some really good support. It's got really good features for those of us that are producing podcasts, producing YouTube videos. And we've had several videos on that here on this channel. So it is a good tool to look at. Opus Clip, another one that we use that we find is good for repurposing, putting that out there. But these are just a few of the things that are out there and what's going to be available. But now I like this last one. And Gina, I want to get your thoughts on it. The third thing that Anne Handley talked about here was, does this new purchase trigger deeper, sustainable connections? And you might think, what do you mean connection? How does that have to do with everything? Well, it has to do with everything, because relationship marketing is critical. This is you building those alliances with others, making sure that others are with you, that you're able to work with them, helping them, giving them the kind of assistance that they need, and then making sustainable connections. I've really talked about that and the importance of not only the relationships with customers, but also with your employees, with the staff. If you're hiring contractors, like many of us are today, does this help on that? What's about the effect of suppliers that you have? Is it going to make ramifications there? Sometimes we were depending on them. And then also anyone else that might be involved. I think what we've got to do is look at what can we do to build better, stronger relationships. And I think that's the key. Well, Gina, as you look at it with that new scheduling system that you have, think about how would that help in improving better connections, better relationships?
Well, certainly if I had that new scheduling system, I'd be better prepared for my meetings, and that in itself would help to trigger those deeper, sustainable connections. And certainly this is something your entire career has been built on, how to leverage technology for those stronger business relationships. So this is exactly what you've been talking about. And you and I are constantly in our programs, our Stark Raving Entrepreneurs programs, talking about how people can use different types of technology. Of course, we're very focused on anything AI related today for business owners. And so that's been a big focus of ours right now. And AI is really helping people develop these stronger relationships.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there you have it. Those three things are going to be really important as you make decisions on should we buy this tech or not. This can be a good tool to help you with it. Oh, and by the way, Gina, remember we said we were going to have a super duper question that are going to be either actually one way or another. And I think the question would be, if we buy this new thing, whatever it is it software, is it equipment, is it SAS, a new service, a new supplier, whatever it is, I think you have to come to a point where you say either hell yes or hell no, one or the other. It can't be something like, well, we'll try it a little bit, because when it's a major decision, I'm talking about the major decision, not buying something real insignificant, but when it is, you got to look at it and we're saying, absolutely, we want this one, or we absolutely do not want this one. And I think that's a good way to do it. Gina, how's that philosophy worked out for you?
Well, I apply that to a lot of areas of my life, a meeting across town or a trip that I'm thinking of going on. And to the extent that I can say, if it's not a heck yes, then it's a heck no. And that's served me well as a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so these are important. And as you work with these, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think about it, because we're here to help you. As a matter of fact, we got some goodies for you here. We're available at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. Find out about the programs that we have to help you build your business as an entrepreneur. Just bounce over there and take a peek, because we offer these programs on a regular basis. Matter of fact, we have weekly meetings for our members, and we open up often for the public. So take a look at that and see what's available out there. And we've got some goodies for you here. Matter of fact, here are some tools that we talk about, and you can find out about it at AI Tools for the number 4 biz.com. AI Tools for biz.com. Learn about ChatGPT, about Canva, how you can use that. There's some amazing things we can do with that. DALL-E 3 is their latest version. Very, very nice. OpenAI has that, as well as ChatGPT. And there's Lexica Art is a good tool for that. Udly is one you really want if you're making presentations. Udly is a tool that gives you the ability to reach out and improve your speech as a speech coach. And it also is stable. We also have stable diffusion we talk about. Really good things there. So you can use that. You've got a QR code here if you're catching this on video that you can shoot right there. It'll take you over. There's no charge for this, just us helping you out. So Gina, as we get ready to slow down here and move along, any final words and questions that you think would be good as we're choosing tech as a tool?
Well, I think that we've shared a number of thoughts. I'd like to hear from our viewers.
Yeah.
Hey, let us know in the comments below. What questions are you asking yourself as you are choosing new tech tools, software, whatever it is, things that are going to make your life better? What are the questions that you are applying? Do you like the ones that we shared, or do you have your own? Please share those below. We'll read the comments and we'd love to know.
Yes, and we read every comment. We want to hear from you. Look forward to it. And so thanks for joining us, but we've got some goodies for you. Matter of fact, right here, we've carefully selected a couple other videos that are just right for you to continue on this journey. I'm Terry Brock for Gina Carr. Thank you very much for joining us today.